our chat series. Today I'm doing a pre-show for the Watermelon Crawl Ball second annual. Here with me is the promoter, Mark Hawley. Mark, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you?
Great, excited to have you on the show and to talk a little bit more about this tournament. We have our obviously you can see it on the flyer. It's a point fighter approved event down in South Carolina. Just covering some of the high points. It's in South Carolina and it is next month, July 15th. Still time to register, I'm understanding, Mark?
Yeah, you can register all the way up to the tournament, but pre-registration deadline is July the 4th.
All right. That's a good date to have. July 4th, have it done by pre-registration. Are there some discounts for people?
Ma'am?
Uh, does pre-registration have the same rate as at the door?
No, ma'am. Pre-registration is $65 by July 4th or $75 at the door.
Okay, all right. Well, make sure anybody watching interested in going to get that in now before July 4th. Just get that done. Okay, all right. Where exactly in South Carolina is this, and what can people expect about? Is Pageland the town or the city?
Yes, ma'am. Pageland is a town just on the North and South Carolina border, and Pageland is known for the watermelon. And the tournament is actually held at a big festival that we have every year in July, the Watermelon Festival. And Paisley is known as the watermelon capital of the world. And, we have fields of watermelons out here, and every year we have a big festival, big parade. Before I did the tournament, I did a big demonstration in the parade. And I just thought it would be cool for the tournament to be at the festival.
What a fun summertime tournament. I was going to ask you about the origins of that. So tell me how the tournament coincides or how it fits within this festival. Is it in, I'm assuming it's going to be in an indoor or tented facility?
It'll be at the community center, uh, just outside of downtown Pageland. The festival will be right downtown, so they're probably 3 to 4 blocks from the actual festival. You can see the rides and everything from the tournament.
Perfect. Okay. Tell me about it's a 1 day event. Tell me a little bit of an overview of the schedule for people who are interested in blocking out that time of day.
So what we're going to do, we're going to come in. We'll get started with the introduction of the tournament. I'm going to announce the prior winners of the King of the Watermelon Crawl Brawl and the Team Challenge that we had last year, and then I'm going to get started with the younger kids, and we'll have 8 rings going. We're also starting with the new additions to the TCT circuit, the divisions of open rank and open weight. So we're going to have those fit in the later part of the day, so people can expect just like a regular sport martial arts event would go. They're going to get their traditional done, their weapons, their musical, their creative forms, and then their regular point fighting divisions. And then we're going to start with the open weight and the open rank divisions. And then just as soon as that's done, we're going to go ahead and get started with the grand champions. And then the last thing that we'll do will be the king. And this year we'll do the queen. Last year I didn't do a queen, but I thought, I didn't have a lot of female competitors in the point fighting divisions. And there are so many amazing and talented female point fighters. I want to showcase them as well. I don't want to leave them out in anything. So I decided I would do a queen of the Watermelon Crawl Brawl this year. And the prize money for both divisions is $750 a piece.
Oh wow, that's great, and that hopefully will bring out a great amount of talent. Also, the location, considering it's in between the border or near North and South Carolina, drawing in kind of that southeastern coast, those regional fighters as well. Among the registration, how is registration looking for those competitors that really want some good competition?
Registration is looking good. I mean, I'm not surprised that there's a lot of people been calling, been asking questions. You know, how much does this cost? How much does that cost? Different schools that we haven't seen out on the sport martial arts circuit. They're seeing this and they're seeing the culture change that we're pushing through the TCT, and they're coming on board and they want to compete. They want to showcase their talent as well.
All right, you talked about prize money for the king and queen, $750 each for each division, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And is that essentially the an open weight division?
That they are both open weight divisions, and then I have a unique team challenge division where it's a 5-man team. You're going to have one 18 plus male, one 18 plus female, one 30 plus executive, one teenager, and then one youth. And that team will have the opportunity to win $1,000.
Wow, you're really putting a lot of money into this. That's something that I hope will draw out a lot of competition because I remember this reminds me of Mr. G's uh, team fighting. He would have two adults and then one kid in there, and that was always such a fun event. I remember fighting as the teenager, the young kid part of that. So that'll be exciting
Yes.
to watch as a spectator. Now, $1,000 for that team fight. I'm seeing $500 for grands, men and women. Is that correct?
Yes, ma'am. So the regular grands, every tournament has a grand champion. So regular grands will get $500, and then all the underbelt grands will get $100.
And to them, $100 is a new pair of AirPods or something really cool too.
Yes, yes, and then what's unique is I got a unique donation. Every grand champion, every specialized division that I have. So all the underbelt grand champions, all the black belt grand champions, the king and the queen in the team challenge, they'll all get a watermelon.
Like that they can consume too.
Yes,
Oh, okay, very nice.
it will be a real homegrown watermelon from here in Payson, South Carolina.
What are and I'm assuming they can just crack it open and get a refreshing, nice after working so hard. They'll get to just
Yes,
that's really cool. And then if you don't happen to end up winning, people can go a couple blocks downtown to that festival, right?
yes, they'll be able to go down and enjoy the festival where there'll be rides, there'll be games. Um, they'll There's a stage set up in the downtown park. There'll be live music and entertainment. There'll just be a lot going on so that they can enjoy the weekend.
In terms of people who might want to stay overnight, even though it is not a 2 day event, are there available hotel rooms and parking in the area?
Yes, about 15 minutes up the road in Monroe, just past the North South Carolina border, the hotel that has partnered with me is the Best Western in Monroe, North Carolina, and they've actually set up a block for the tournament that they'll be able to pick up.
Okay, so for those watching, the Best Western in Monroe is South or North Carolina, you said?
That'll be North Carolina.
In North Carolina, there's a block reserved for you guys, so pick up those rooms before they're all gone. And if you want to, take advantage of some visiting and some summertime activities. What about if you don't win grands, the regular like awards, trophies, things like that? Is that all squared away, or are you still working on it?
Yes, it's all squared away. I actually have one of the medals right here.
Let's see.
This is one of the medals. It's one of the first place medals. There's
Very
the
nice.
watermelon on it with a watermelon crawl brawl on it, just
Cool.
right there.
Great, and that is one of the medals that you can take home. It's nice. I always appreciate medals, considering the amount of trophies that schools and homes get bogged down with.
Yes, yes. I can remember growing up in martial arts and every weekend coming home with either a first place or second place trophy, and then running out of room in the trophy cabinet. So we opted to go with medals that kids can put up as nice decorations around the room.
Great. Now, if anybody watching has any questions that you have for the promoter or myself that you want to ask about this tournament, be sure to drop it in. Otherwise, let me know where you're watching from or what tournament you're excited for this season. And if you're able to make it, just interact with us and we'll chat with you. Now, Mark, do you have students from your karate school that you plan on taking to this tournament? How many kind of are you going to have to watch over as you promote this?
I actually have a school team. It's called Team One More Round, and they've been traveling the TCT Sport Martial Arts Circuit. And there's a group of about 25 kids, teenagers and adults together, and they've been doing awesome. This is their second year traveling together, And last year it was about 15. This year it grew up to 25, and next year I'm hoping it'll grow up to 35 or more. Really seems like sport martial arts has come alive here around Pageland, and everybody's getting excited for it. I know I'm excited for it. The TCT Sport Martial Arts Circuit, it's the competitors tour where we listen to the competitor and we work to give the competitor an experience that they will never forget.
This is your second annual. Last year was the inaugural. What are some of the things that you've leveled up since last year?
Last year, I noticed that it was going to grow. Last year, I had right about 275 competitors, and I was dumbfounded. I didn't expect that many. I was so blessed with the support, and so I noticed that my border that I had around the rings to keep the spectators separate from me, it wasn't sufficient. So I went back to the drawing board on my border, and I've ordered all new border to go around the tournament. Last year I used the facilities, seating and chairs and tables and things, and I went and I purchased all my own chairs, all my own tables and everything, so that I could better lay the tournament out and make sure there was clear pathways for spectators to walk, clear pathways for competitors to be. I've worked real hard on trying to make sure I have plenty of judges, making sure there's ample security. I'm just trying to level up the professionalism of the tournament all around so the competitor gets a better experience.
Professionalism, also comfort. I'm hearing not only the competitor gets a good experience, but also the one or two parents or family members that take them don't know where to stand or feel like they don't have the right place to sit in the right area. So it seems like you're really being thoughtful about the experience itself.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I
Awesome.
am.
Great. Okay. Now moving on to, so we covered awards. To reiterate for everybody watching, July 4th, if you joined a little bit late, July 4th is the pre-registration deadline. You'll get a discount for doing that, so make sure that you register at myuventex.com. Plenty of prize money for all ages. Now, in terms of, do you have any pre-seminars set up for that? Or sometimes tournaments have seminars, or is it just going to start and kick off to the competition?
We're just going to start at 9 o'clock in the morning with the competition. We're going to have a judges meeting starting at 8, and then the competition is going to start at 9. And then after that, we'll start with the smaller kids first. We're going to get them out of the way. I don't want them around the tournament all day long because I know how antsy they get. And then we're going to proceed on with it. I don't have any special seminars or special events at the tournament this year.
Mm-hmm.
But next year, I am working on something even bigger and more special.
Awesome. And I think that this will be your second year. If you were impressed with the turnout last year, I hope that you're blown away this year. And this will give some more exposure for anybody who has nothing going on. July 15th. What day does that fall on? Do you know?
That falls on a Saturday.
Perfect.
July 15th. It's right around the third weekend in July. It's going to be an awesome day. It's going to be full of surprises. And the competition on that day last year was next level. I was so blown away and amazed with the amount of competition we had for black belt fighting, black belt grands, and the King Challenge and the team challenge as well, that this year I know everybody and their brother is coming out to take the crown.
Do you remember any big names or even just good regional competitors that came out last year? Or maybe you can drop some that you know are coming this year? Just one or two?
Last year we had we had the top 5 from the mat last year. Justice Floyd, Malik Green, Joseph Tyler Brackett, and Wayne Easterling.
Okay.
Right. Wayne, he took the King last year. And, I've already called him. He said he's coming this year. He wants to retain his crown. And we've got the ever surprising Justice Floyd that amazes us with his, he's the fighter that is so humble. And when he gets out there, he puts on a show.
Yeah.
And then we've got the amazing Malik Green with Malik. He was on Team Unity with me for a short while, and Malik is one of the most helpful individuals ever, and he wants to see everybody come to the table and win. And then you've got Joseph Brackett, who on any given day can show up and show out, and you never know when he's going to take it off.
That's that's really exciting, and I think as we talk more about it, as some of those guys come down in, they're going to draw even more competitors, or even competitors that just want to step into the ring with them and get a couple points, get their rounds in for this tournament. Is there anything that I missed that you wanted to make sure that our viewers know, that who might have hopped on a little bit late?
This year we do have the new divisions, the open rank and the open weight. The King division will be an open weight division, so
But not open rank.
it will not be open rank. It's isolated to the black belts, but it is open weight. So will the Queen be. It will be isolated to just black belts, but it will be open weight. And like I said, there's $750 up for grabs for each of those divisions. And the team challenge, the ultimate team challenge, there's $1,000 up for grab if a team can come out on top.
So speaking of money, if there's an adult woman or an adult male that's interested in spending the weekend here, so they win the king or queen, now that you have both, and then they happen to get a great team for teams, right? And then they win that. And then they also could, if they're a stellar competitor, they also might win the men or women's grands, right?
Yeah, unfortunately, that happened last year. Wayne Easterling took everything.
For anyone watching, you could drive into Pageland Community Center, get a good, nice experience, and walk away with more than $2,000. There's a lot on the line here. So make sure that you're making your way to South Carolina. Again, there's a hotel room if you wanted to stay the night. Check it out. You don't necessarily have to, because everything is all of one day. So the Watermelon Crawl Brawl, everybody, second year, hosted by Mark Hawley. Mark, it was a pleasure having you on the show. Again, July 15th, make sure you register at My Eventix, or just show up and take the $2,000. Either one. So, all right. Thank you so much, Mark. I appreciate you coming on, and be sure to register where everybody else registers. myeventix.com, everybody. Thanks for watching.
Thank you so much.